Hi everybody, my name is Mike Demaro and I want to welcome you to the latest episode of My Life with Asperger's. Today's topic I'm going to be talking about is weddings. Now, it might be a long way for me before I get married, but I have been to a few weddings during my 28 years on this planet, and I want to talk about how to be a guest at a wedding and whatever, and enjoy the wedding and not be too pressured and whatever. So I have been lucky to go to 3 weddings, 2 for my family and 1 for a friend of mine. I was also invited to another relative's wedding, but the Hurricane Irene went through there, and and I was probably thankful that I made the decision like a couple of months before not to go. But I think I made at the time. I think I made the correct decision by not going. You know, but you know, weddings can be fun, especially if you know the bride or the groom. The 3 weddings that I've been to, I have known the bride. I have not been to a wedding yet where I have been related or knew the groom. You know, well, actually, my two of the weddings from my family members, I did get to meet the groom before the wedding. So, you know, the other wedding that I went to for my friend there, I met the groom that night. But it was fun. But anyways, planning a wedding is a hard task for anybody, whether you have Asperger's or not. And figuring out what to wear for a wedding is hard for people too. You know, weddings are supposed to be a formal event where guys are supposed to wear suits and the ladies are supposed to wear dresses or nice clothes. Now, weddings are a fun event to go to. I really had a blast at the wedding I went to for my friend last week, you know. And I took a lot of pictures of it, so feel free to look on my Facebook page. Actually, the 3 weddings that I've been to, they're on my Facebook page, so you can feel free to look at the pictures, you know. But not every wedding is the same, and I know that for sure. Not every wedding is the same. There's going to be differences in every wedding that you go or you may have, and there might be differences. You know, not all the weddings are alike. Just like all people are not alike either. You know, except if you had a twin. But yeah. But anyways, going to a wedding can be stressful for someone, whether you are related to someone who's getting married or not. When my sister got married 3 years ago, that was very stressful for my mom and my dad and I and the rest of our family. But it was fun that they planned it, and it was a great event. You know, I was happy for my sister. She was getting married, and now she spends every moment with her husband, it seems like, except when she has to go to work. You know, and then they have 3 dogs. They don't have any children yet. I hope they have children. You know, because I want the family line to continue. You know, it'd be nice if they had children, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen. You know. And then the second family member that I got to go see get married was my aunt, like 18 months ago. That was a good wedding, too. It stressed out my mom a whole lot for planning this wedding, too. But I was happy I was able to go because it was a great event and a great turnout. It was unique. It was our camping club's first wedding at their new chapter hall, you know. So I was very happy I got to witness history with the camping club. You know? Now, the wedding that I went to this past weekend, I was invited, and it was pretty nice. You know, I knew the bride from working with her over at Pizza Planet, and I had a fun time actually. And, you know, like I said too, I didn't know anybody at the wedding except for the bride. But by the end of the night, I made like a few more friends, and you know, and I met the bride's father, and I met the groom, and I helped and stayed and cleaned up after the wedding was over. You know, it was a great thing for me to do and help them out. I helped out with my sister's wedding. I had to help out. You know, like, and in my friend's wedding, they didn't need me to help, but if I wanted to stay and help, I could, and that's what I did. Because I'm a true friend, you know. I really like this person as a friend, and I really enjoy our friendship together, you know. I think meeting her was a great friend of mine, you know, and I'm very honored that I got to see them get married, and, you know. You know, I got to tell you how I got invited in the first place to this wedding that I went to this past weekend. She had it on her Facebook, like, all the wedding, blah, 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 blah. Go, make sure you go on the website and reply and all that. And I'm like, if you want me there, I'll be there. And then the next thing you know, she messaged me on Facebook saying, what's your address? And I gave her my address, and boom, there you go. I got an invitation for the wedding, you know. She wanted me to be there, and I managed to make it, so I'm real happy I got to go, you know. But yeah, but I do have a tip for you. Make sure you do reply to the wedding invitations by the deadline if there is one. You know, it was like a couple of weeks after the deadline before I could reply to my friend's wedding because of all the things that have been happening in my life. You know, and I totally forgot all about replying to it. And guess what? I was able to reply to it, and they still let me go. I was very thankful for that. You know. But weddings can be a good time. Make sure if you do go, dress formally, dress up nice. Well, not formally. You can dress up casual too if you wanted to. Make sure it's business casual though, not regular casual. I do not recommend flip-flops. I do not recommend sandals. I do not recommend shorts. You know, actually when I went to this wedding this past weekend, there was actually a guest there, a guy who's wearing a Hawaiian shirt and a pair of white shorts. And I don't think that's appropriate for a wedding, you know? I made sure I didn't dress up in my normal attire, a t-shirt and shorts and sandals. I made sure I did not do that because I knew that my friend was getting married and it was a very important time and I knew I had to dress up, you know? I know it may be hard to figure out what to wear, first of all, but I figured it out. You know, I figured I needed to dress up, and I did. And I looked very nice, you know. I wore my dress shirt that I wore for the Universal interview. I wore the dress shirt that I wore for the panel that we had a few weeks ago, you know. You want to make an impression at a wedding, and I did. You know, and I dressed up. I wore a dress shirt, and I wore dress pants, and I wore black shoes, you know. But like I said, shorts are a no-no. A t-shirt is a no-no either. T-shirt I'm wearing right now is definitely a no-no. You know, shorts I'm wearing right now are definitely a no-no either. You know, I would not recommend that. Now, I had a pleasure going to the wedding. You know, I did invite a date to come along with me, but unfortunately, she could not come because, you know, she didn't really like being with crowds, and she didn't really know anybody either. You know, I can understand her feeling about that, and I do forgive her on that. I was okay that she didn't come because, you know, probably by the time we got there, we probably would just be there for the wedding and go. So, and I can tolerate crowds a little bit more than she could. So, it was better off that my date couldn't come anyways, because the music was too loud in the building. And, I could deal with the music, but it was alright. I had a fun time, though, It was better off that I went, I wish my date could join me. Now, I asked another girl before that, and I didn't know what her schedule was going to be at her new job, so that's why I didn't formally invite her to come. And I felt sorry for her, too. And she understood, so it was alright. But, yeah, you want to have a fun time and not have to worry about any problems or whatever. I hope someday I can bring my date someplace, just go out and have fun. But it was okay that I didn't bring her to the wedding with me. It might have been tough for me to stay, but it's okay. But I still like her, as a friend. She's a great friend of mine, and, she likes me like crazy. But anyways, going off back into the topic here of weddings. It can be a fun event, but it takes a lot of work planning. And you gotta respect those who are planning it, because if you don't respect those who are planning it, then your wedding is going to be a disaster. It might be hard if an Aspie got married. It'd be like trying to figure out this, trying to figure out that. Normal people try to figure out this and that too. So you're not alone. I hope someday I get married, but I don't know if it's going to be a big wedding or a small wedding just yet. It depends on what my bride wants and when that day comes. If my bride is crowd sensitive, then maybe we'll have a small wedding, Well, if my bride likes to have a big wedding, go ahead, we'll have a big wedding, It just depends on who the person I meet wants, And that's how it should be for everybody else trying to get married to somebody. It should be, you should agree on what you want for a wedding, So, basically, I did enjoy going to weddings. I do enjoy going to a wedding, especially the one I went to for my friend last weekend. And I hope I get to go to many more weddings, Maybe I will be invited to more weddings, It would be fun if I am, I do love to go to weddings. They're fun, But I just have to know the people first. Or I just have to know at least the bride or groom first, I can't go to a wedding of people I don't know, obviously, And not to mention, I do enjoy watching wedding videos, and I do see wedding photos of the weddings that I don't go to, and they're pretty fun, The wedding I went to this past weekend, they recorded it on video, so, and they did take my picture. Candid pictures of me. But I did have a fun time at the wedding. And I did take a lot of photos, even though I didn't have to do that either. I did take them, because I'm like my dad. He needs to take photos of every single thing he goes to, like weddings and all that. Camping show even, he takes pictures of a lot of things, I'm coming like my dad, taking photos of all these events, I'm silly, am I? I'm crazy, ain't I? When it comes to weddings and, well, not weddings, but taking photos of everything almost. So. Alrighty, folks. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and if you guys get married, whoever's getting married in the future, congratulations, So, I'll talk to you guys.